So I'm talking today with Sharon Pryse, who is with the Trust Company. And Sharon, you're actually the CEO and founder of the Trust Company, and so I just
Oh, yes, I happen to be.
and you're good at marketing,
That's right.
product placement. This is sort of like when I watch TV shows with my kids now, and they're all into this. That was a Microsoft ad. We're watching a show. That was a Microsoft ad right there, since they don't know what commercials are. So very well placed. But thanks for joining us today, Sharon. It's really great to chat with you. And just by way of introduction, I know that you were a finance major at UT, similar to many of our viewers of stuff like this. And you started off with, I guess it was a short career in the banking industry.
And I had an
Um,
even shorter career selling life insurance.
oh, really?
So
Was that
I sold life insurance for a year.
okay?
I was still here in Knoxville and had graduated on a Wednesday, got married on a Saturday, and nobody would give me a real job. I mean, I interviewed with everybody.
Uh-huh.
The odds of me staying in Knoxville were slim to none. So I went to work selling life insurance on a straight commission basis. I could talk people into buying not great products and felt horrible about it.
Okay.
Made what I thought was a lot of money,
Yeah.
but did not feel good about what I was doing, and ended up quitting selling life insurance, and then going to work for a bank in the trust department as a clerk,
Okay. And so
where
then how long
I
did
felt
that little
much
stint?
happier with myself, um, as a clerk, making a third of what I'd been making selling life insurance, but I could live with myself at night.
So
And by the way, my general agent I saw him forging someone's signature on an app, and I knew life
oh
was too
dear.
short to ever deal with something like that.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to witness.
No.
So you went into the banking job, and that what did that last? A few years, is that
Well,
right?
actually, 16 years.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But then the real change happened, I guess, when you more or less went on your own and started the trust company, managing, what was it, $0.
Zero
And so
dollars.
now you have, is it 4 billion under
Four,
management?
four, 4.5 billion under management. Yeah.
What a ride! I
Yeah.
imagine it's been a lot of fun.
Did didn't
Sometimes
really
a bit
set
tough.
out to worry about having billions or hundreds of millions. It was, and it also really wasn't such a change. I mean, I liked what I was doing at Valley Fidelity Bank, and it looked like my job might be moving to Washington, D.C., and I wanted to stay in Knoxville. I was happily married to a physician whose practice was in Knoxville. He wasn't going to be moving someplace else. Um, so I wanted to be able to keep doing what I was doing. So
Yeah,
that wasn't so much about a change as it was I wanted to keep doing what I was doing.
yeah, yeah. So okay, so then let's talk about what you were doing, what you are doing now. I hear the trust company, and I think, okay, just at a 30,000 foot view, this is a financial advisory company. I know that encompasses a lot, but can you give me kind of the 2-ish minute version of kind of what you do at the trust
Sure.
company?
The elevator version. We
Elevator
talk about
version.
helping people live life confidently. But just kind of going into a little background, we started off handling retirement plans, and we got into the wealth management business because we would handle a small business's retirement plan, and the business owner would have sold a piece of property and said, I don't want these brokers calling me all the time. You just do such a good job of it with my retirement plan. Will you keep doing it for me the way you've taken care of me? So we got into the wealth management business just because that we treated people the way they wanted to be treated, and we talked to them in plain English about investments and what their goals and objectives were. And that's what we keep doing today. So we talk to individuals or businesses or foundations or endowments about what are their goals and how we can help that person or that couple or that business meet their goals, and talk to them a lot about putting up the mirror when they say their goal is X. Well, is that really what your goal is? If your goal is to retire at 55, great. What are you going to do when you're 55? Oh, well, I really want to get a sailboat and sail around the world. All right, now let's talk about what that really does entail and back up of what are the things you're going to need to do before then. And we just talk through helping people figure out their goals and how we can help them live life confidently meeting their goals. We don't talk so much about alphas and betas and standard deviation. We have a lot of people who know about that, but that's not what our majority of our client communication is about. We have plenty of engineering clients who want to know all that. And like I said, we have a CFO who can talk those kinds of strategies. But that's not the typical, our account is relationship based more than anything.
Okay, so then in all of that, then it sounds to me like there are a number of different little things that different individuals can do, and obviously it's important for all of them to do it well. And so getting people in the right positions has got to be key to your success. And so uh, you know, it sounds to me like between the client facing stuff that you have, which is highly relational, to the back office stuff, which is going to be much more analytical, dealing with numbers, maybe not communicating with many people outside the firm, and then everything in between. In your organization, I imagine there's plenty of room for someone to really kind of learn what they're good at, learn where their passions are, and get into those roles and really thrive.
And that's one of the nice things about a growing organization is that we're able to let people grow to where their strengths are and learn their own strengths and learn their own passions. So we have I'll say a young lady. She's actually just turned 60 and looks like she's 40, but anyway, she's worked for us for a long time now. But she's a CPA, and we hired her in the retirement plan area to work with qualified retirement plans and the controller of the companies and making sure plans were doing all the check boxes for ERISA and coverages. And after a few years, she came in and she said, I would really rather work over the kitchen table than the boardroom table. I like the personal trust aspects of what we do more than I like dealing on the business side of the business. So now she's in personal trust. She handles a lot of our special needs trusts where you really have to understand what kind of things we can pay for and the things that we can't pay for. She's very relational. She understands relationships. So yes, she's a CPA, and yes, we hired her thinking she was going to be working in one area, and she started off there, but then she recognized her own strengths and passions of what she enjoyed doing more. And we're lucky enough to have a growing organization that she could grow into a totally different job than what we'd hired her for. So I
Well,
think that's also good about individuals learning for yourself. What do you like doing? And try to find a job that you actually like so you're not putting a round peg in a square hole.
absolutely. And as I talk to my 20, 21, 22-year-old students, some of them know exactly who they are, exactly where they're going, and that's great. But I would say that the majority don't really know. They kind of vaguely know what their interests are. They kind of know what their skills are, but they don't really know on a day-to-day basis what's gonna set them up for sort of thriving. And so one of the things that I try to encourage people to do is, if possible, get into an organization that's nimble enough to kind of let you kind of figure this out and sort of move around and get into the right place. But I want to ask you sort of more general industry type questions next. So back to my students who may not necessarily know what they want to do early on in their college career. They know they want to be a finance major, or they want to study, get a collateral in finance. And when they start doing stuff in finance, they'll get this fascination with individual stocks and picking stocks, and this is
And I
clearly
started out like that.
okay. So yeah, so you can definitely. I mean, it is fascinating, and as a
I
finance
took every
professor,
investment class that
yeah,
UT offered at the
and
time.
as a finance professor, I can absolutely say that individual stocks are huge, huge, huge things in our economy, and they fit together in a way that sort of makes things work the way the way they work. But when thinking about when a young finance student is thinking about a career, picking stocks is, at least in my view, is probably not going to get very many of them very far. So, some are going to thrive, but it's probably not going to be the thing that that I think people should sort of set out to do. So that's what I advise them on the front end. But I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, I concur with that totally. I think that understanding the stock and bond markets and markets in general, and being able to explain it to others is critical. And having the core competency that understand you understand alpha and beta, that you understand what risk and reward are about. So if you're taking a risk, you know you're taking a risk, and you know how much and particularly if you're in a leverage situation, you really understand not only the potential ups but the potential downs as well. But understanding that, and then finding a job applying that, um, you know, I think personally, again, the trust company is a very relational company. I think financial planning and dealing with people and dealing with others, including your students, your 21-year-olds, uh, there's so much stuff that's available online. You can get so confused. There are going to be plenty of people who only want online access and don't ever want to talk to somebody. But we're finding as many 25-year-olds who are going into the job market and entering a 401k plan for the first time want to talk to somebody about what should my asset allocation be. That should I pay down more on my house or less on my. They want to brainstorm. They want to be collaborative in that decision making process about what's going on with them and their lives. So I think they're great job opportunities for people who understand the financial world but can help others understand the financial world and their own priorities and help them get things straight
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So
I mean, you're in this type of a career. You are tapping into a need that literally everyone has.
everyone,
Everyone, in one way or another.
whether you have a 4-figure or a 5-figure or 6-figure or heaven, we hope, 7-figure income, everyone has got a financial need to understand where they're going and how are they going to meet their goals long term.